but I think where we have to start is a Champions Classic, and it's not Michigan State, and it's not the Spartans beating Kentucky that we need to discuss. It is Kentucky. It is Mark Pope looking like somebody just hit his dog with a car. It is a team that looks like they have plenty of chemistry issues. It is a team that looks like they spent $22 million on a bag of old clothes at the thrift store.
Fugazis.
Fugazi. So, Randolph, I'm going to start with you because before we hit record, we were talking, and you said you have one main concern about Kentucky, and I was like, save it for the podcast. Save it until I hit record. We hit record. What do you
know what, Rob? It's a lot to talk about with Kentucky. Obviously, that they got to be one of the more disappointing teams, and I think the biggest thing that you can see out of them was just the lack of toughness concerns me. One. Like I just didn't see a lot of fight. They didn't seem like they get along with one another, and like there's something's going on. Whatever that is, it'll come out. My biggest concern is, Rob, I don't know how they fix it. This team they got no production out of their frontline guys, which is obviously concerning. I don't think they shoot the ball well, and then I think even once they're healthy, like everybody's going to tell me that when they're healthy, and I remember hearing people say like Jaden Quaint's coming back and he's their best player. He is an athlete. He's a tremendous talent, and he's an athlete coming off of an ACL injury. Like he's going to need time in the middle of the season. I don't think people really understand how difficult that's going to be for him, let alone. And we're not talking about a bucket getter. We're talking about a guy that plays using his athleticism. I mean, as talented as he is, Jalen Lowe comes back. You throw him in the mix, which you already have with Away in Aberdeen. It gives me the Carolina backcourt of a year ago. Three guards that are really good, really talented, but all three are good with the balls in their hands. They don't play well with each other because their games don't mix. It's like you and I and T.O. all wanting to shoot it. Somebody's got to pass the damn ball. And I don't know if that team has the ability.
Not on this podcast, Randolph.
Right,
Not
right.
on this podcast.
And to my point, that's how Kentucky looks. It just looks like they're just taking turns right now, and we're going to talk about later the top five teams that we think are the best five teams in the country. I think Kentucky right now will look like the top five more disappointing team that we've seen in the country so far, because I don't know how they're going to fix it unless Mark's willing to tell someone to stay away or prepared to bench someone. I don't think getting healthy bodies is going to fix the problems of what we've seen. You just don't, it looks like they've missed something in the portal.
I think it causes more problems. I think one of the issues they have right now, T.O., is that they have 10 guys that are all kind of sitting there expecting to be one of the focal points, or to be the stars, or to be the man, and they don't really know who the man is. I think Otega Owe hasn't really stepped up. I think a lot of guys are kind of saying, all right, I'm going to be in for 3 minutes and 30 seconds here. I got to go get mine while I have the chance to be able to do that. And I don't think bringing in a point guard that is like a ball dominant, score first kind of a player, and a big guy that doesn't really do much other than like kind of defend and rebound. And I don't think that
Which one
helps.
Which one?
All of them, man. Like
I know that's where I was heading on a system predicated on spacing. If you can't shoot, there's no spacing.
Mm-hmm.
Or like that's another problem with the whole thing. They misevaluated some guys now. Like you go back and look at Mo Diabate, like he shot 12 of 26. That turns out for a pretty nice analytical look. That's 46%. But he shot 26 threes last year. Didn't even get one up a game. So like you look at him and you hoping he can be able to knock down shots. He's 1 of 11 so far this year. The spacing is an issue. I think Randolph, I don't know if you were on After Dark when you said this or you were with us. Like Louisville had a bunch of shot makers. Kentucky's got a bunch of shot takers. That couldn't be said better.
Right.
They don't have, like, Colin Chandler's kind of a shooter. But by the way, like he was being billed as the guy at Kentucky. Colin Chandler's a piece. And he's a piece like that needs to be like around the ball, needs to have ball movement. Otega Owe very much, even going back to when he was with Team Final, like he's a piece. And if the ball's not moving, you're taking away what he's good at, which is attacking a closeout and using his athleticism. So the ball's not popping because everybody's taking turns. And it's like they're not taking the first best opportunity. Everybody's just saying, well, it's my opportunity. And it looked really, really strange. And to go along with RC, do they fix it? Do they fix it? I don't know where you fix it. Like Jalen Lowe's a good player, but that's a high usage guy with low percentages last year.
I would be surprised. I honestly would be surprised if Lowe came back. I think he understands how much money he can make by playing in college.
That's too bad, man. I know where you are. I know where we're at. That would be wildly disappointing and too bad. Quaintance too, like good player, but he's an athlete, and like you don't really get back to feeling really comfortable till 18 months after.
Right.
So like, where do you go from here? Jasper Johnson, he's going to dribble, and not only is he going to dribble, like his wind-up shot, it takes a long time to get off. So what do you need? You need a closeout. Who's getting the closeout and willing to pitch out? There isn't anybody. So, I almost wonder, like, the big thing with Pope was, the Zoom action. Okay, Zoom action's all well and good, but like you have three guys on the floor can't shoot. So there's no space to do it. All they're doing to do is sag in off of them. And those guys take a long time to get this shot off too, so you can contest late. I just a lot of money for okay. So I told myself when the season started we were going to talk about money, but like the problem is like there's a lot of guys that were overpaid. Like, is there a GM at Kentucky?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, so that's a problem. Like that, like you have that much money to divvy up. There needs to be some checks and balances somewhere. You can't just say, "Well, I want this guy more than the other place. I'm just going to go get him." What happens when you misevaluate? There's a lot more at stake with the misevaluation now. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned. Denzel Aberdeen was like a high role player at Florida. And by the way, from what I understand, Florida didn't even compete to bring him back after they found out what Kentucky was paying him. So that'll tell you a lot right there. I just the teams. It's strange, we're in an era now where it's like you have to go one of two ways. You have to either recruit or pay according to what you need for your scheme, or you try to get the best players available and then you're going to tailor around them. Well, if it's exactly opposite of what Pope's always done and he gets the best players and they just ended up being a hodgepodge of guys that are different than what he likes to do, that's hard. And I think they're in a whole heap of trouble, and the frustration is real. You can tell.